it has calmed down a little bit. Now you can see the differences in the riding modes a little bit more clearly also.
Okay.
So therefore, rain mode is kind of sleepy. Yes, has a function. Okay. Urban mode is urgent enough. And a lot of the time here, I actually prefer to be in urban mode rather than sport mode.
Why is that?
Because it feels like the urban mode's torque is good enough, but well organized. So I feel like I'm more connected to that experience. And when I do this, the reaction that the bike gives me is more natural than sport mode. Out on the highway, I was happier in sport mode. TVS does a few weird electronic things as usual, where the UI UX guys don't always talk to each other, and I don't think that they are actually plugged into the outside world at all in some ways. Right? For example, if you go into the menus, you will discover that the menus are almost always accessible at all speeds.
Right.
This is from the same organization that says when you come to a stop at a traffic light on a scooter and you are using the start-stop system, then you have to do a little bit of a Kathak movements before you can get the scooter to start on again, because the child might pull the throttle. The same organization is willing to leave all their menus open at all speeds. So in theory, I could be messing with the menus with my head down like this and operating the buttons. This bike now has the same buttons as the updated RR310. You could in theory have your head down and do all of this the whole time. Now, there are shortcuts to change riding modes. First of all, they are super slow to react and there is no confirmation of the click. So when you press this, nothing happens. So first couple of times, you're not even sure if it's registered or not.
Okay.
But that's because there is almost like a 2-second delay before the screen starts to change.
Oh.
So either you'll get a closed throttle notification on top, or you will have closed the throttle and the screen will shift. The problem with that is that they don't give you a way to switch off ABS. Although in the rider aids menu, you can mess with traction control settings, for example. So the mode in which rear ABS goes off is part of the shortcut set. So you're basically going up one mode and up one mode and up one mode and up one mode. And then to get to the 6th mode or whatever, you have to pass through a moment where rear ABS comes off.
Okay. Through the other controls, is changing ride modes that much more difficult then?
Yeah, because you have to go into the menu and then go into vehicle and riding mode and then select the mode and all of that, right? So it's not a good menu setup.
Okay.
Oh, there's an even more hilarious menu in there. And fortunately for you, I will not recommend the machine on which this particular menu appears, so this is not going to be a problem, but this is absolutely hilarious. So there is a rider assistance menu of sort where you have this traction control where TVS could easily have put ABS, but for some reason supermoto mode outside is the more convenient way to do it for them. I don't care. And so on and so forth. And under that it says on our test bike RTDSC. That's TVS's IMU equipped rider assistance suite. When you go into the RTDSC menu, you will see a full screen full of little icons. And think of it as like how Apple does their big screen at the end of each product presentation, where you have the product in the middle and all the new things that they're doing, the same kind of thing. First, I had trouble reading the text on that screen with my glasses on. And I don't ride with my reading glasses on, so I'm standing in fairly bright, and this is a fairly bright screen. And this is despite the fact that TVS's UX guys are awesome, because they took a 5-inch screen and can make it look like a 2.5-inch screen because they just crammed it full of stuff all the time, right? No problem. So there's icon. Then you start trying to interact with the icons and realize it's just a screen. It doesn't actually do anything.
They just display tiles.
It's an advertisement. You might as well have the spec sheet in it now. I mean, that's all that's left. Okay, so again, I think TVS is great engineers, but I think the maturity of the engineering is just not translating to the UI UX group. There is still rain falling in the rain mode, Karthik.
I remember that.
If you ride a TVS Apache RTR 310 in rain mode for 2 months in Bombay, you would have more millimeters of rain from your motorcycle than Mumbai gets in the entire season.
Yeah, that's quite funny because on a bike, any which ways you'll have raindrops on your screen. You don't need the display.
No, worse, I'm upset that the raindrops are obscuring the digital rain that is falling. On the flip side, I don't want this story to just go down there. This is one of the best quickshifters in this class. Might be one of the best quickshifters in the world across classes. It's even better than the KTM Quickshifter, the 2025 Quickshifters, and the 2025 KTM Quickshifters are really good. This is even better than that. It feels smoother and more effortless than that. The headlight is absolutely the best headlight. The KTM Adventure has been a recent benchmark for being a great headlight. Yeah. This headlight is brighter. And I this time found a menu where that dynamic headlamp brightness thing can be turned off. I think it can, I'm not sure. But if it can be turned off, it means I can enjoy the full power of this headlight in all conditions, because I understood how the engineer solved it. And it's such a TVS thing to do. So basically they said that, look, you're going 20 kmph, you need to see till there. And now you're going 120 kmph, you need to see till there. So why should we have so much illumination for 20? We'll give you that much illumination at 120. Great. Can the bike detect fog, dust, rain, conditions that obscure visibility and might require you to have more lumens on your side? No. And that's why, if you make a nice and bright headlight, let me be the adult in the room for once. But again, I don't want to go into this. Great headlight, great quick shifter. I really loved both aspects of this bike. And I'm saying it to the extent where if you can afford the base variant of the RTR, which is already an expensive purchase, but you're not constrained on your budget and you can afford to add the quick shifter, which is the next model up, please do.
How much more is that?
About 15,000, I think. And it's not going to add any utility value to your experience, but it is going to add a lot of fun to your experience. And you're just doing this for the joy of it. It's a really good quick shifter. So the quick shifter, the headlight are two of my favorite features on the bike.
And that awesome headlight is standard.
It's standard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely standard. What has gone away from the motorcycle, and it's an awesome thing that it has, is the heated and cooled seat is now behind us. It is the absolute worst motorcycle seat I have ever had the misfortune of testing. I think about it and stuff starts to hurt. And this seat is a regular seat, but unfortunately for TVS, this is still not a good seat. Okay, it feels like when you slide forward in the seat, and you will a lot because this is a gently sloped seat, it feels like it's a fully convex seat like this. So it sort of pushes up between your legs, and it is an extremely uncomfortable seat. So you push yourself back.
You try to get away from that.
You try to get away from it. When you do, you discover a plateau of foam which is actually quite firm, which you will actually like. You can't stay there because you slide right back. Then you slide even further back and make sure that the back of your body, so effectively your tailbone area, is in contact with the seat step, which actually feels really good. I'm not saying you feel cramped up. It feels like I'm plugged in and I'm getting, and by now you've like really stretched out to the handlebars. So there's no real comfortable way to sit on the motorcycle. And it's nothing to do with the handlebar. It's nothing to do with the foot peg. It is just the seat. So from my experiments with my KTM 390 Adventure, this is going to be a super cheap fix. I would not tell you to be distracted by it, but are you going to like the TVS's seat as stock? You're not going to like it.
Okay. What else? We've spoken about the engine, and you said that the throttle tune has changed, which makes it smoother and nicer to ride in all conditions. The chassis suspension remain the same. Still the highlight of the motorcycle. Tweaks to electronics. I think I have a feeling that they fixed something with the cruise control.
They've only done one thing to the cruise control. One thing that they should have, they didn't. And the other thing that they should have, they have. So what they haven't done is that switch is not very sensitive. So you can't always tell whether it has been clicked or not cleanly. All the other switches are pretty clicky. That one is not. That's not been fixed. But last time around, TVS was like, oh, you want cruise control? Please touch the clutch or the brake to confirm that you want cruise control. So that dialog box has now been eliminated. If you switch on cruise control, your cruise control is on, and this is an excellent cruise control system. Unlike the KTM system, again, because that's the recent system and that is the IMU connected, blah, blah, blah. This system is smooth. It holds on to the exact speed that you've chosen far more accurately, and it can do it smoothly. So in effect, TVS and KTM have the same system, but the TVS system is just like a magnitude more effortless right now. So to me, I've had cruise control on both my Ducatis. I have used them regularly until the V4's adaptive cruise control gets in my way. The TVS system has that kind of accuracy and effortlessness. The KTM does not. So it's a very good cruise control system. What I would want TVS to do is just change the on-off switch, which goes 4 ways, I think, but I can't really tell whether it has clicked or not. That's all I want changed. This is a beautiful cruise control system. So net, what I'm really upset about is this is an eager and enthusiastic motorcycle with a lot of torque. The throttle maps have made it smoother and you appreciate it a lot faster, but the refinement comes back. And then you're in this weird place where you can't tell if it wants to or doesn't want to. And that feeling of, I'm not sure, is going to put a lot of people off. It is going to make the job of recommending this bike a little bit more difficult before you account for the price, before you account for TVS services, current reputation, etc., etc. Before you get to all of that, you're already at a place saying, For this money, you can buy bigger motorcycles. For this money, you can buy smoother motorcycles. For this money, you can buy more energetic motorcycles. What's the point of this bike?
Hello. If you enjoyed this clip, which means you're into good conversations, and that's what we're all about. It's really hard packing in the essence of an idea into a 60-second clip. This 3-minute, 5-minute video would have given you a sense of that, and you can enjoy this entire conversation in its full glory on the MotorInc channel. So why don't you head out over there and subscribe to that, and you could subscribe to this channel as well if you enjoyed it.